Hey everyone, and welcome. Ready to dive deep? Today we're going to be uncovering how to really make those LLMs everyone's talking about, really work for you.
It's a pretty exciting time to be in the AI world, right?
Yeah.
Like we can take these crazy powerful models, GPT-4, LaMDA2, you name it,
Yeah.
and fine-tune them to be like specialists in pretty much anything.
So wait, no more like generic AI.
Oh,
We're
wait.
talking custom built now.
There you go.
This is what that fine-tuning thing is all about.
Exactly. We're not building AI from scratch anymore.
Okay.
Think of it like instead of training a brand new chef,
Right.
you're taking a culinary master, someone who's already amazing,
Right.
and having them say, perfect sourdough bread, they're already brilliant, but now they're laser focused.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So we've got these chef-level AIs ready to specialize.
It's exactly.
We sent you a research paper. It's got like 1 million authors on it about how this is playing out in agriculture.
Yeah, it's a really cool paper.
And this super in-depth technical report on the whole fine-tuning process itself.
And those two sources together are great because they show how widely you can use these techniques. Agriculture, like you said, fascinating because AI hasn't really made huge waves there.
Right.
Now we're talking about giving farmers AI-powered advice tailored to their location, soil conditions, you name it.
Wait, hold on. This isn't like some futuristic thing.
Right.
This is happening now.
Absolutely. And that level of like granular, data-driven insight changes the game. Imagine a farmer knows exactly when to plant, irrigate, even fertilize, all thanks to an LLM.
That's where I think it gets really exciting. Like the real-world impact. Okay, so we've got fine-tuning, but then there's also this thing called RAG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me they work together, because otherwise my brain might explode.
Haha, no exploding brains needed for this, don't worry. And you're right, RAG and fine-tuning, they're like the dream team here.
Quite good to know, good to know. But how are they different? Like, what's the distinction?
So think of RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, that stands for like giving our LLM a superpowered encyclopedia.
Okay, I like it.
Let's say you're asking your AI assistant about, I don't know, some recent event. Our RAG is how we give it access to all the latest news articles, background info, all that, right alongside your actual question.
Oh, so it's like it's giving the LLM extra resources to pull from, but like live in that moment.
You got it.
Whereas fine-tuning is more about baking that knowledge in, like making it part of the model itself.
Exactly, exactly. Fine-tuning, it's deep learning, it lasts. RAG's your go-to when you need really, really specific info or stuff that's always changing. Like, imagine giving our chef not just skills, but a whole library of recipes to reference.
Oh, okay. And in that agriculture paper, they were using both, right? What kind of results did they actually see?
Oh, they did, and it was fascinating, just adding RAG, right? Giving the LLM that localized data. They saw a 5% boost in how accurate their farming advice was.
5%, that doesn't sound like much, but I bet in agriculture,
Oh, it's huge.
that could be the difference, like between a decent harvest and like all the crops.
Exactly. And this is where fine-tuning comes in. When they fine-tuned an LM, specifically on agriculture stuff, that accuracy jumped even higher, over 6%.
Wow, okay, so it seems like fine-tuning has the potential to really shake things up. In a good way, obviously. And we're just getting started, right?
See, that's the exciting part. And if you're thinking, okay, but how do I do this fine-tuning thing? Ooh, that's where this technical report comes in. Lays the whole process out in 7 stages.
7 stages. All right, we're about to get really hands-on here. What's step 1 on this fine-tuning journey of ours? 7 stages.
Yeah.
It's like a quest for the perfect AI or something. What's step 1? Got to collect 7 mystical artifacts.
I wish. No, stage 1, it's all about the data. Prepping it. And honestly, this part's crucial.
Okay, so data is our mystical artifact. Got it.
That report, they were really serious about the whole garbage in, garbage out thing. If you want a genius LLM, you got to feed it, like top tier information.
But how do you even begin to prep data for an LLM? It's not like you can just like dump a bunch of articles in there.
Oh, absolutely not. And it's way more than just like spell checking. They use some really cool tools for this, actually, like Spacey. Think of it as a grammar checker, but for AI. Make sure the data is all structured, right, consistent.
Okay.
And then there's NLTK. Helps the LLM understand like the nuances of how we actually talk, not just the words themselves.
So it's like
Yeah.
we're teaching the AI to understand not just dictionary definitions, but like the slang and the jokes and all that.
Exactly. It's wild.
Okay, so we've cleansed our data. We've got Spacey and LTK. What's the next step in our AI training montage here?
All right, so next we got to choose our champion. Or, well, the pre-trained LLM that's best for the job, right? The report was very clear. Not all LLMs are created equal. Just like you wouldn't hire a pastry chef to bake sourdough, you need the right model that fits your goals.
That makes sense.
Ah.
So what are we looking at here? Is it all about size, how complex the LLM is, or...
It's a few things. The task is a big one. Writing poetry versus analyzing like medical data, those need different LLMs.
Right.
Then you've got the practical side. How much computing power do you have? Any privacy concerns with the data?
Ooh, privacy concerns, yeah. Tell me more about that, because that sounds important.
Hugely. Imagine you're fine-tuning with like financial records, medical histories, that kind of thing, super sensitive. Got to be really careful about data security, where that fine-tuning's even happening. Some places might keep it all in-house, total control.
Makes sense. Okay, so pristine data, check. We've summoned our LLM champion. What happens now?
Now, stages 3 and 4, it's training time, baby. 3 is setting up the environment, making sure the software, the hardware, everything's ready to roll. But stage 4, that's where the real magic goes down, picking the right fine-tuning techniques.
Okay, we're getting to the good stuff. The report mentioned something called LoRa.
Ah, yes. LoRa, low-ranked adaptation. It's honestly changing the game for fine-tuning.
How so?
So instead of retraining the entire LLM, which takes forever and costs a fortune, LoRa just adapts smaller parts.
Also, it's like a surgical strike team. Going in, making precise adjustments, don't need to tear the whole thing down.
Precisely. Way more efficient, often more effective too, especially if you don't have like Google-level computers at your disposal.
So we've prepped the data, picked our model, done the fine-tuning. Are we done with our 7 stages? Or is there more to this epic AI quest?
We do still have a few more stages, but they're more about evaluating, refining, making sure our LLM is top-notch. But before we get too deep into that, got to talk about something really cool the report touched on. Multimodal models.
Multimodal models. Okay, you officially have my attention. That sounds very futuristic.
Right. So imagine this whole fine-tuning thing, but not just for text. We're talking images, audio, even sensor data. That's what multimodal models are all about. LLMs that learn from and work with, all kinds of stuff.
Whoa. Hold on. Instead of just reading, an LLM could look at a photo, actually understand it, or listen to music and like get the emotion behind it.
That's the idea. The report even mentions some examples like Whisper. That's a speech recognition model. Fine-tune it. It can understand different accents. Or MedVQA, that one helps doctors. They're looking at medical images, the LLMs analyzing it right alongside them, alongside the patient's notes.
That's insane. We're talking about a whole other level of AI here. It's honestly a little mind-blowing to think about the possibilities. Like, what could someone listening to us right now, what could they do with this knowledge?
That's what I love about it. With fine-tuning, with RAG, you can create an LLM for almost anything. This tech is already changing farming, how we diagnose diseases, even how we write music.
It feels like we're on the edge of like a whole new era, where AI isn't just a tool, but a collaborator, a problem solver, maybe even like a muse, an inspiration.
I think you're right. And the best part? We're just getting started. As this tech gets better, those multimodal models especially, who none know WS what we'll be able to do.
This has been amazing. We went from 0 to 60 on fine-tuning and RG, even got a glimpse into the future with those multimodal models. If you're listening, I hope you're as excited as I am about the possibilities here, because things are about to get really, really interesting. And until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, because who knows what amazing discoveries are just around the corner.